Alright, so today we're going to be installing the accessories for the PrimeLink c9065 or 70. These accessories also work for the Versant model 180, 280, 3100, 4100. First, what we're going to do is we're going to put on our screen on the PrimeLink. So we're going to be going ahead and putting it in place and then showing you what screws you'll need in order to hold the screen in place. Alright, so you just want to make sure you have these, and then we'll go towards the side. Alright, next what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just tighten these. Sometimes they do arrive a little bit loose, so what you'll do is you'll lift your screen up a little bit, tighten them up just a little bit, not too hard. Once you have that on there, then we'll put on our screen. Next, with the two holes, one right there, one right there, and we'll start to line this up, like so. Next, we're going to be aiming towards the bottom here, and then this is where we're going to be adding the two little white knobs along with the little frames with the two screws here. So first we'll add the white knobs. So when you add the knob, there's going to be one going in here. So if it's not lined up, then you'll go ahead and just move your screen a little bit like so until you find the hole there, and then you'll enter the white knob there, and then you can screw that right in like so. That's one side, then the other side will be just the same, right in that whole insert there. Go ahead and add the knob and screw it right in. Next, we're going to add our little frame with our screw here. So pretty much this, you can put this bypass down here like so to make it a little bit easier, especially with putting the two knobs there. But this will go right here, and then you'll add your screw in like so. There you go. And now the screen is secured on the side, and it should be good to go. Then we can go ahead and make sure it's plugged in. Alright, now that we're towards this side here, we will have to take off two screws. So one in here and one in here. Once we take off the two screws, we're going to be able to put in our screen. While we're here, we'll also make sure that this is connected for the scanner. So this will connect right here, like so. Alright, now that we got the back cover off here, then we will have to come towards the back, and we will have to remove this screw here. I believe there'll be one screw down here as well. We'll have to loosen this screw here, this screw here, this screw here. Then this plate can come off like this, like so. Alright, so this cable is going to be plugged in right in here. There's a little arrow right here that shows right here. And it's going to be plugged in with a little black tab facing us. So when you do plug it in, it'll be connected right in here like so. Once it's connected there, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to follow this guide here, and you're going to implant the cord. Now, once you have that step there, we'll re-add the metal plate back in. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and re-add the plate here, so you'll see that this plate will go back like so, and you just want to make sure you push in with the little guide there, like so. And make sure you add your screw there. Tighten these screws up, and then from there, the screen might have some tabs. So then, from here, you can put this here, and this hole here. These ones are old from the previous one that was cut off, but and then you can have it come up like so. So once you have pretty much almost like a snake form, alright, so I had to move, I was putting it here, but it goes right here, so it should look like this, so then you can have it like that, and then when you do go back your cover, should go in flush like that, and then you add your 2 screws, one in here, and then we can move on to the next step. Now that we got the machine pretty much set up from the left hand side, let's go ahead and just add the accessories like so. So we'll start off with the Decurler Interface Module, then we'll move on to the Interposer, then we'll move on to the Finisher Booklet Maker, and then the Trimmer. Alright, so first what we can do is we can open this up, and then the machine should have a bracket right there, and then what you'll do is you'll just open this latch up like so, and you'll push right in, and you'll close that tab there, and then you'll see that that's on there like so. Then we'll move on over towards the Interposer module. Same deal, where we have open the door, and it's got a thing for the bracket, and the bracket will be on top here, so then when you do add it, it should attach. Close it up. Then we can move on towards the finisher. Now towards the finisher side, same deal. We'll open it up. This one will be here towards the bottom. Of course, the bracket will be right there. So then when you do line it up, open the bracket, and you'll see it lock in like so. Then we're going to go ahead and do the trimmer module. Trimmer module, we're going to have to remove that cover there, a back cover there, in order to put the 2 screws on in order to hold the trimmer in place. Alright, so this is the bracket for the trimmer. We'll go ahead and install it onto this finisher if it does not have it. You'll have to remove this screw here and this screw here, and then we'll go ahead and add our bracket, line it up with the holes, and add the bracket like such. So we'll go ahead and remove this tray. Next, we're going to go ahead and line it up. You just want to make sure that this little flap right here is going to go above that flap right there. So when you do start putting it in, just make sure you grab the flap here a little bit up and start pushing in like so. Then you will notice that in this hole right here, you will have to add a screw bit right in there. So right in this hole right here. Alright, now once you get it close, add your screw there. Then we can add back our tray. Then we'll add the conveyor belt tray. Alright, here's the conveyor belt tray. It should come like this. There is like a little Ethernet jack port right here, and that's where that one cord will connect there like so. So when you do put it on, there's little flaps there. So then when you do put it in, you push in and then push down, and then you'll see that it's in place. Then we can connect the cord that I was mentioning about that looks like an Ethernet right in this slot right here. Alright, now let's go towards the back of the copier and do the connections. Alrighty, so the first step is we got to remove this cover. There's be 4 screws. One here, one here, one here, and here. Sometimes there might be a 5th screw down here. Okay, so in here, if you have the Interposer module, then you will have to remove this little dongle here. But if you don't have this, then you have to keep this dongle on. So in this case, we have the Interposer module to install. So in this case, we'll remove this, and we'll put that there. We'll put this cable here, and we'll put this cable in here. Now, to make it look flush, there's two little pin guides here that you can use, and then there's little pins on this here that it will make it go towards the guide here. So there's one, and then this one will be all the way up here, and then you'll just aim both of them down here to get flush looking cords there. And then you'll be needing one of these. In here, you'll be connecting it on this side. Once you have that there and have this cable flush like here, like so, we'll be adding our cover back on like so. Alright, so I disconnected it here because it might need some slang here, but it's okay if it's just here. So then you'll add your cover back in, and then you'll see, you'll add your 4 screws back in. Then we'll connect one connector here, one there, and then we'll add our power cord down there. Now the next step is to remove this cover here. You'll have one here, and then you can go ahead and remove it. You may have a screw here, but sometimes it will not come with one, but we'll go ahead and remove that. Then what we're going to do is connect the connector that was from the other side, and it's the only one we have left, down here. Then from there, since we are adding a trimmer module, we'll have to connect these cords here. So in this one, we'll plug in right in the middle here, like so. And then you can use these little pin guides to pin them to make it look flush with the wiring right here. Then we can add our cover back right on. Next, you'll have a screw here and a screw down here that you remove, that you'll take this plate off like so. Once you take that off, we'll go ahead and guide these two cables right in here. So one will click on the bottom and one will click on the top. And then from here, you can add your to the guides there. So then you can put the cover back on to make it look like flush, like so. While we have this open too, there is a little hole right here where you have to add a screw, and that is for the other side for the bracket, so then the trim is then fully on there. Then you just want to make sure you plug in one cord here, one cord here, one cord here, and then our power cable, and then we should be good to go to turn the machine on. And that is how you connect these accessories for this PrimeLink unit. Like I mentioned, it does work for the Versant 180, 280, 3100, 4100.